All right, well, welcome to part 3 in our house series. So, what are we going to do today? I have no idea, right? We're just going to start modeling and see what happens. All right, so what about a TV antenna? I think that would be a good idea, all right? Now, we're going to make one of those antennas that most of you probably have never seen before, kind of the old school ones. So, this is going to be a polygon cylinder. We're going to hit W, we're going to move it out. We're going to hit R, we're going to start to stretch it out a long way, and then we're going to make it very thin, bring it down, and we're going to bring that up, move that over to the house, and it's still probably too big, but it's going to be fine. Now we're going to move it towards the house, and you're probably thinking, well, yeah, but you know, we've got the tiles on the roof, and how's that going to work? No worries, we'll get there. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to vertex, drag select, we're going to move that towards the house just so it's touching right there. We're going to push this down so this kind of connected up to here. Let's hit F2 frame in here. So that looks alright. Then we're going to right click, go in here, we're going to go to face. Hold down the tab key and select hopefully all of these faces. Not so much, so let's try that again. Yep. And then from here we're going to hit Control E to extrude. Pull it up, but like this. Maybe not that far, like this. Alright. G to repeat, W to push up, and we might want to scale this down a little bit, and we'll do the same here. Just scale everything down a little bit, and it's fine if it kind of jumps from thick to thin or whatnot. After all, we did the same with the rain gutter and so on, so it's not a problem, right? Okay, so this needs to be thinner and stretch that out a little bit. That's good. And then we're going to go in here and we're going to move this a little bit. There you have it. Now let's turn that into an antenna. Okay, so what we're going to do is take another polygon cylinder. Let's move that to the back. Hit R once again. Make it very thin. You hit rotate, flip it around, hit W, bring it in, bring it up, and bring it over. F2 frame. So that's going to go in here. Make it thinner. And as before, this is hitting the roof, so we don't want that. So we're going to bring it up a little bit, and we're just going to tilt it over. All right, Control D to duplicate, W to move up, and then we'll tilt it the other way. And then we'll copy this guy, Control D, E to rotate, flip it around like so, scale it in, and then we're going to hit W, put one here, Control D to duplicate, move one over here, slant it a little bit, Shift D to do that again, hit E and kind of flip it a little, and Shift D one more time, and bring that in here. And then we'll take 1, 2, 3, and 4. We'll group them. Control D to duplicate, W to move down. And then we're gonna make sure that they don't look exactly the same as the others, because that wouldn't be good, right? So we're just gonna flip that stuff around a little bit. And whatever you do, try to avoid symmetry, right? Okay, so we're gonna take this, let's try that again. We're gonna take this, yeah, and we're gonna deselect this. We're gonna W, we're gonna move that forward to here. And there's that funky antenna, right? Now we might want to take the whole deal, not this, and go to mesh and combine, and then hit R to scale it, because I feel that it can be quite a bit larger. Like that. That's pretty neat, right? Okay, so we have that. So let's see. What else? What about a little doghouse? Okay. Actually, well, let's save the doghouse for a bit. What we're gonna do is we're gonna work on the street, and let's see if we got some neighbors going on, right? So for the street, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a polygon plane. We're going to scale that up to something like this, right? And that would be about that. And then let's go in here to vertex, and we're going to W. We're going to make it a bit wider. Okay. And then we are going to go to object mode, insert edge loop. Let's do, I would say 15. That's fine. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna lower the whole thing to there, right? And then we're gonna go in from this view. We're going to go to vertex, and let's see here, we're going to take these, and we're going to hit B for soft select and increase that impacted area, and we're going to start to raise that up a little bit. That's kind of the idea here. Okay, so the whole street surface will roll up a little bit like that. Okay, then we're gonna go in here, excuse me, and we're gonna do 15 in this direction. Q on the keyboard, and then we're gonna make sure that the road looks a little bit more used. And then we're going to make the impacted area a lot smaller. Q on the keyboard. Let's hit 3 to preview smooth, and you'll get something looking like this, right? That's kind of the idea. Now, for now, what we're going to do is we're going to go in here, and we're going to copy all of this minus this, right? And this, and we're going to Control G to group this. Going to center the pivot, and we're going to hit Control D to duplicate, E to rotate, hold down J, hit W, move it across the street, And then it's not too bad. We'll have something looking like this. Now, of course, this is identical, which is a big no-no. So we're going to have to change the trees, but at least we have some elements here, right? Okay, so let's see. How about we put a lamppost in here somewhere, right? So yeah, let's do that. We're going to take a polygon cylinder, and we're going to pull that up. And then what we're going to do is we're going to scale it in quite a bit, make it nice and thin. Insert edge loop. We'll do 3. And if these look different compared to where you live, that's possible because they're different all over the world, right? So I'm going to scale this and then push it down, not too much. And I'm going to get rid of the faces at the bottom here. Like so. Make that a bit thicker. Make this thinner. And if you want it to look a little bit more vintage, what you can do is go in here and go in here and bevel that 0.01, yeah. And then from here, what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to hit R and push that out and then bring it down. And then grab this and hit R and do the same. And then take the whole thing, stretch it out, and then take the whole thing, scale it down. Now, we're going to hit W, we're going to move it up, we're going to move it in here, and typically, let's see how high the lamppost would be. That would be about it, I would say, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to stick a lamppost here, right there, maybe even 2 of them. We'll put one here, and then we'll finish this one and then duplicate it, right? So on the top here we need to add something to make this look like a lamppost, obviously. So we're going to go to face and we're going to hold down the tab key, flip this around, delete that, preferably delete all of it. And then from here what you can do is go into edge, double click, and then Control E to extrude, R to scale out, G to repeat, W to push down, G to repeat, R to scale out again, G to repeat, R to scale again, and then hit W and push that up to something looking like this, a little bit higher, and then a G to repeat, R to scale in, G to repeat, W to go up, G to repeat, R to scale out, G to repeat, W to go up, G to repeat, R to scale in, and up. And then we're going to go to mesh and fill hole, and then we're going to hit F on the top here, go to face, and go to edit mesh and poke to get rid of the engons, right? So if you smooth this, you'll get something looking like this. And we'll take it and we'll move it down. And then we'll have a lamppost. Now it's maybe a bit tall, maybe. That might be a little bit better. So we got one sitting there, and let's say we got one. Well, I think one there is fine. Okay. So what else can we do? How about we put a bus stop here, right? Why not? Now that's always cool. So we're going to put a bus stop in there, and let's see what we'll do is we'll take a polygon cylinder, push that up, E to rotate, hold on J, scale the whole thing up quite a bit for the simple reason that it's easier to see what I'm doing, right? We're going to get a face, we're going to drag select all of this. Then we're gonna take this and this and this. That would be about it. We're gonna move this down. We're gonna bring it over. I'm gonna scale it down. After frame. So that's going to be our roof, right? Extrude, let's do 0.1, which is fine. And then we'll insert edge loop and we'll do 2 and 2. Do one here and one there. Q on the keyboard, hit 3. That looks fine. Now of course this is way too big, so let's push this back a little. Now for reference, size reference, these tiles are typically 30 by 30 centimeters, or I think that's ballpark 10 inches. So a general height would be about, let's see, 6 of these tiles for a person, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cube and I'm just going to go into the top view here, and we're going to move that over, and then we're going to scale it after frame until we have about 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so this is our guy. Let's see if I need to make any changes. And not that all people are 6 feet, but you know, I mean, where I live, people are much taller. It's ridiculous. I mean, you got 16-year-olds, they're like 7 feet tall. Anyway, that's that. So if this is a person standing, and it's standing right here, then the person easily needs to be able to stand underneath this. So I'm going to make it a little bit taller. That looks good. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put a simple frame in, and let's see if we can borrow something. This is all still quite straight, so we're going to Control D to duplicate. We're going to move it over here after frame, and then we're going to put one in the back here like this, and we're going to scale it in. Control D to duplicate, W to move down, and Shift D to do it one more time. And if you're wondering what kind of design this is, I have no idea because I just made it up, right? Okay, so we got this. Like that, right? Then we need to make sure it's connected to something, so it's not just sitting there, right? So Control D, A to rotate, flip it around. There we go again. There's that odd issue. Let's see. Let's try that one more time. I don't know what's going on there. It should just work. Okay, I don't know. Anyway, what we'll do is we'll, yeah, what are we gonna do? We're gonna change the design because, you know, I'm the one modeling, so it's my call, right? So we're just gonna do this instead. And the idea here is because this is not the model that's the final model, this is all about the idea, if you will, right? I don't want to get the modeling in the way of the creativity, if you understand what I'm saying. Because that comes later. So if we've got something like this, Control D to duplicate, we'll move it over, we'll put one here, right? Then we'll take these and we'll move them in here. And we've got this guy, get rid of it. And now I finally understand what that problem was. There was a copy inside and that created that problem. Alrighty, so this these three will go back a little bit. This will go forward a little bit. That's going to be our bus stop. That's our guy right here. And then we might want to have some pillars or something. I think the overhang is maybe a bit much, maybe. Let's see. That should be plenty. I'm going to go in here to edge. Fill hole, and then I need to fix this quickly. We're going to go to multi-cut. And I want this. Let's hit after frame. Multi-cut this to go there. Enter. And this to go there. Enter. Okay. Q on the keyboard. Object mode 3 to smooth that out if we like. We don't have to, but we can. But anyway, that's how it's modeled now. So we got our bus stop. We got our light. What do you call it? Light post, light lantern, whatever you want to call it. Let's see what else. So we don't need our guy. Get rid of him. And let's see if we can turn this into an intersection, right? That'll be fun. So what we'll do is we'll take this out and this, okay? And then we are going to create an element like this, but then curved. So we're gonna take another cube, We're going to hit W in object mode. We're going to hit R. We're going to extend it. Get that in here. Match the size after frame. Get rid of these end faces. All right. Let's see if we can bring that in. Pretty good. Gonna go in here. We're gonna hit bevel. Let's do 0.2 and then 3 here. That looks to be good. And hit W, we're gonna move it out. We are going to insert some edge loops. Let's do 7, Q on the keyboard. Let's go to deform, non-linear, and a bend. Now we have a handle. We're gonna rotate that handle. We're gonna open up the attribute editor. Let's see how it's curving in this direction, which is fine. Let's set this to minus 45 degrees and see how that will respond, right? So we're gonna go to edit, delete by type and history. So now we can take this, hit 3 to preview smooth, hit 1 to go back, right? What we're gonna do is we're gonna take this, we're gonna rotate it, we're gonna bring it in. Let's look at it from the top. And let's rotate this guy into place after frame. And we might want to rotate that some more. I would say that looks pretty good. And then we'll take this, this, and this, and we'll group it, and then we'll go to modify and center pivot, and then we're going to hit Control D to duplicate, W to move over here, rotate the whole deal, W to move that in. Bring it in like this, after frame. So we get something like that, right? And then from here, what we're going to do is we're going to copy some tiles over. Let's see how many we need. Control D to duplicate. After frame. All right. So we don't need that one. Don't need that one. Right. And then this we're going to tweak. And then we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Control D to duplicate. W to move. And then we're going to hit Shift D all the way down to the back. One more time, Shift E, there you go. We'll take this, we'll go to vertex, direct select, move that to the edge, take this guy, Control D, move it out, after frame, looks fine. We'll short this one in a little bit. All right. So now we have this corner and we have these tiles, and these would typically not be in someone's yard, right? So we're going to get rid of these. We don't want this selected. Delete those. Got one right here. Take this guy, go to vertex, move that over so that plot is intact, I would say. And then we got this corner here that, and we'll get rid of this tile. Actually, we'll make it fit. Let's see. To make this work, yeah, that's how they do it. And then they put it concrete in this section, right? That's how they typically do that. All right, so we're gonna create some concrete, and for that we'll take a polygon cylinder. Let's make sure it fits right there. Scale the whole thing up quite a bit. Jump to the top, after frame. Let's bring it in here, and that diameter has to be a lot bigger because the pivot will be about here. So when we scale this up, it needs to fit that, and it needs to be quite large to actually mimic that. That I can work with, I think. We'll see. Anyway, we're gonna go in here, we're gonna go and get rid of these. We're gonna get rid of these because that's a given. I know that I need those. We're gonna bring that in here, slightly back like this. And then we're gonna go in here, vertex, bring that in, bring that in. Let's have a look from perspective view, after frame. We don't need these. We're going to go in here into edge mode, Control E, W to push down, move the whole thing down, and there you have it. So there's our sidewalk at that end, and yeah, we can do the same on the other end, so hey, why not? So what we're going to do there is we're going to take this whole thing, and we are going to we're going to go up to edit, duplicate special. Let's close this. Where'd you go? Duplicate special, option box. Excuse me. Edit and reset, and I'm going to set this to -1 on X. That should work. And hit apply. And I should have made it a single object. So we're going to go to mesh and combine. Let me try that again and hit apply. There you go. All right, so after frame, all right, then we're gonna take this plot right here, Control T to duplicate, and W to move over. Look at it from the top, after frame. And I believe that's okay. So now what we can do is take this, right? And we can hit Control D to duplicate, move it forward, like so. And then we are going to, let's see how we're going to do this. We're not going to go that far. Actually, we're not going to duplicate this. Yeah, if we end up in a situation where this is going to be a cross section, then we'll sort that out. All right. Okay, so yeah, we got all that. Let's stick in a traffic sign, and for now, I'll just extend this guy a little bit, right? So I'll just hit R, scale it out a little, move it forward. Right, so I want a stop sign at the end here, and I think then we'll call it a day, right? At least for this video. So we're gonna take a polygon cylinder. Yeah, let's get this closed. We're gonna hit W, move it up after frame. And then we're going to hit Control A. I want this to have 8 sections. We're going to get in here, get a face, get rid of this, take this as our stop sign, Control E to extrude, 0.1, maybe a bit thick, but make it thinner. There you go. We're gonna move it. Hit W, move it down, move it over. After frame, hit or rotate, hold on J, flip it upwards. And then of course it needs to flip like this. So that's gonna move over here, and we're gonna stick it down here. And then we need a pull, so we got one right here. So we're going to Control D to duplicate, W to move, scale it down a lot. After frame, pull it down. After frame again. Let's go to face, get rid of the top right there. All right, we're going to take our sign, we're going to stick that in front. Let's just take this guy. Make it a little bit bigger. And the height isn't what it should be. So we're going to hit W. We're going to move it up a little bit. Let's scale it. Take our sign and move it up there. That looks a bit better. Okay, so yeah, that's it for this video. And again, if you want me to do more and develop this plot of land, if you will, then let me know in the comments. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. See you in the next one.